Welcome guys, thank you for watching this video, but before we proceed, do not forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, share it to all of your friends, and also check out the description for further information guys. And now, let's get into the video.
Alright guys, so welcome to today's video, and in today's video we will continue our work from the last video regarding this stat system I have created in the last video, as I've already said. And yeah, so first of all, I wanted to thank you for your support as always guys. Your support is overwhelming guys. We have now achieved or accomplished 9.1k subscribers, and thank you for that. We are pretty close to 10,000, so only 900 subscribers are left guys, and I would be really happy if you would share this channel to your developer friends, to your friends who wanted to start developing or who just needed help on certain topics on their anime games whatsoever. So I would be happy if you would share this channel to your friends and help me and help us overall. So this channel is our project guys, so to help us to grow this channel to 10,000 subscribers. But alright, so enough with this advertisement thing. Now let's move on with this tutorial. Okay, so let's quickly recap what we have done in the last episode. So I have created this, so these values right here, these stat values, and we have made them savable, so they do save, and we have created this GUI, GUI right here, okay? GUI, okay. Yeah. Now, the next step is, of course, to make this, or to finish this GUI by adding a close button, or adding some kind of button right here which makes this whole thing close, to adding a stats title right here, and to actually create this level up mechanism which recognizes when, let's say, when this one EXP right here has become 5. Yeah, so a script which recognizes that and then turns this, or increases the level by 1, and then just resets the current EXP progress and increases the max amount of EXP which is required in order to level up. So that's the plan for today's video, and if we still have enough time left later on, then I could possibly do a few more things. But yeah, that's depending on how much time we have left later on. But let's get started guys. Okay. So the first thing is about the GUI. Alright, let me add a text label. Okay, text label, let me call this thing title. And this thing is going to be the title, as the name already says. There we go. Okay. Alright, so there's the title. Now I'm still thinking on whether or what we could possibly do. I think that I'm gonna, I'm probably going to create some buttons up here. Right below these two bars. And when you hit one of those buttons, the menu is going to appear, and if you click on it for another time, then the menu is going to disappear. So that's my plan, and I'm going to do that. Okay, frame, let's add another frame, and let's call this one buttons. So this frame is going to hold some buttons, not only the stats button, but also some other buttons, maybe regarding the menu or the inventory whatsoever. So just some buttons, as I've already set. Okay, now let me add a text button inside. which is, by the way, going to have the same color as this frame right here. Yeah, so there we go. So I'm gonna keep the design pretty identical. There we go. So turn on text scaled. Well, it's of course up to you on how you want to design your GUI, your buttons, etc. I'm just suggesting something to you. You of course do not have to do that as always. It's up to you, but do not complain when it does not work. All right, there we go. So this is our stats button. And once this one has been clicked, so let me just... Yeah, so once we click on that one, and the stats frame is, well, invisible, then it is going to turn to visible, and it is going to come from here, yeah, to here, where it currently is. So that's the plan. All right, so how do we proceed? So I'm gonna loop through this button's frame right here. So for IV in pairs, what I basically is, I is the index, and for example, represents the spot, let's say. So when this is your first item of your frame, then I would be 1. So the local script is at the first spot, okay? I is 1. Keep that in mind. Then stats is at the second spot, therefore I is 2. So that's basically what I was saying, or what I was trying to say when talking about spots. Now, V is of course the item itself. So local script, stats, whatsoever. And we are basically, yeah, as I've already said, we are looping through this frames. This buttons frame script parent command. Yeah, there we go. Get children do. So basically, we refer to this buttons frame script parent and then get children, which is basically a function, and just collects everything inside and puts it inside of a table. And we are basically just looping through that table. Okay. And now, what we want to do is that we only want to take a look or pay attention to the buttons, because we want to check if they have been clicked. And since you are unable to click a local script, it would cause an error if you would still try to do that. Therefore, we have to filter. We have to filter things out. And in order to do that, we just want to check their class name. So this, for example, is a local script, as you can already see. So class name, local script, and this one is a text button, of course, class name, text button. And we only want to, as I've already said, pay attention to the text buttons. Therefore, we could do v class name text button, or we could also do v is a text button. So both things are, or both things do the exact same thing in this case. And yeah. I'm gonna go with that because that's way shorter and I'm already used to it. So if V is a text button, then we want to proceed again. So we have filtered out the text button from this local script, and now we want to check if it has been clicked. So V mouse button 1 click connect function. And it is of course currently not a big deal because we only have one button inside, but imagine that we would have many buttons right here. Okay, let's say about 4 or 5 buttons, and it would be a pain to just create a new code block for every button, etc, etc, and this thing works automated. Okay, the only disadvantage right here is that it will not apply those things, which we are going to apply soon to this button. So it does not apply them to newly added buttons, but be honest. So when would you add a new button instead of this button's frame right here? Okay, so you of course have your buttons from the beginning, and there is no need to add any new buttons. Therefore, that disadvantage will not make any sense in our case, but there are of course cases in which this thing would not work. And we already had them in some of our videos from the past. I cannot remember those videos, but there were some. So I do remember that they happened, but I cannot exactly remember in which video that was. But it must be, or it must have been, a anime tower defense video, but I could be wrong as well. Never mind. So, if this button has been clicked, then... So what are we going to do? We are, of course, going to check if... No. So what are we going to do? Yeah, we are going to get the frame, first of all. So which frame, you might ask? Of course, the stats frame. But besides that, as I have already indicated, or foreshadowed, or whatsoever, we are, of course, going to have some other buttons inside of here as well. Therefore, we are just going to do the following to keep it as general as possible, as automated as possible. So we are just going to do script parent. So script parent, basically referring to the screen GUI, and then we are going to add those brackets, of course, and then we are going to put the.name inside. So we are not basically referring to script parent and then putting a stats in quotation marks inside. So as I've already said, we want to keep this as general as possible for other buttons as well. So let's say that you would have a menu button inside, okay? So if you would have a menu button inside, and if you would change this to stats, then this would not work out. Or it of course would work out, but you would be able to open up the stats menu with your menu button, which is not what we want to achieve, you know? So as I've already said, keep things as general as possible. And yeah, that's actually it. So if you want to open up your menu, just for an example, so if you want to open up your menu, if you would have this menu button, then you would of course need to ensure that your menu frame is directly stored under this main GUI, as the stats frame already is. So you cannot put your menu frame inside of the stamina tab, for example, and then expect this thing to work. So this line right here requires that the frame you want to open up, or the frame you want to make visible, is directly stored inside of this main GUI. Okay, with that being said, let's just continue. Otherwise, yeah, I'm just talking too much again. Okay, frame. So we have referred to the frame. The next thing we want to do is that we want to check if the frame is closed or not, aka visible false or visible true. So else describes or stands for all of the other cases which could happen regarding this frame.visible. So regarding the visibility of the frame. And of course, your frame can only be visible or not visible. So if we are certainly checking for the visibility to be false, then all of the other possible cases could be that the visibility is set to true. Okay, so there are no other cases. That means this thing basically is the same as frame visible true. Okay, but we just saved all of these writing performance, you know. Okay, else. So if our frame is visible, not visible, then we want to make the frame visible, of course. So set this thing to true, and then we are going to create a tween. So game get service, tween service, and I have already worked on tweens in this series, so I highly recommend you to check out the past episodes if you don't know what tweening is. And I'm not going to go in sort of detail now, so I'm just gonna create the tween, and I hope that you guys have already understood what tweening does. So I have explained it in detail in my past videos, guys, so please check them out, and I'm not going to explain them in this one again. So tween, there we go. Frame, now tween info, wait time, unum, easing style, linear, unum, easing direction, out, 0, false, 0, come on. There we go. Now position, udum to new, and basically, so this whole thing makes the frame visible, means it makes it become to this state, okay? So basically this state is our goal when we want to tween, okay? Therefore, we just take the current position of 0.2 and 0.4. So 0.2, 0.4, 0. And that's basically the position we want to tween out. So you have to imagine that when your frame is invisible or visible false, then your frame is somewhere right here, okay? And then through tweening, it just moves right here. So that's basically what we want to do. Okay. Now, we need to make this tween play, of course. So tween, play, and we need to change this button's text to wait, script parent. No, could just easily do v text v text close. There we go. Okay. Now to the next case. So when this thing is already, when our stats frame is already visible, then we want to make it invisible, of course, and we want to remove this close thing. So how is this going to work out? And that's a little bit complicated. So we actually need to work with string, sub, and this basically picks out a certain part of a string, you know? And yeah, so the difficulty right here is that you need to define where it starts and where it ends. But we are going to do that, of course. So first of all, which string is it going to work with? So it is going to work with our current text, which consists of stats close, okay? And we want to cut this close thing out. Means we want to keep the stats thing from the beginning, okay? Therefore, we can already tell that our I means our first value right here, or let's say our starting point is at the first character. And now, wait, I have to test this out myself because I am pretty unsure about it as well. But yeah, so I just have to see how this is going to work out. Oh, it actually worked. Okay. Well, yeah, it only says stat right now, but wait. Let's change this to 6. And where is it? Where is it? Wait. Oh, so that's our current position. Okay. 5. 585. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this was our size only. Alright, so now this should look fine, and I'm gonna explain what I have done. Stats. Wait, now? Okay, now this thing's totally glitched. Hmm. Now it only says stat. Wait. Why is this happening? Yeah. Okay, works totally fine. No, but like, what is wrong? What is wrong with that? So instead of v text, let's add v dot name. Maybe that will help. Stats close. Oh, and it did actually help. Yeah. Okay. It actually did help. Alright, so let me just convert this to string upper. So what string upper basically does is that it just converts the string which is given instead of those brackets into uppercase. Means a uppercase S uppercase T, so just caps lock on. That's basically what string.upper does. Okay, now to this thing right here. So what is this doing? And it basically just receives this stats buttons text, which consists of stats and then close, okay? And it just takes the front part, which says stats. But wait, there is actually no need to do that because we could just do this. Guys, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb to to see the easy things. Okay? So the solution was just that easy. Okay. Yeah. All right. There's nothing more I have to explain. Yeah, so as you know, I've already explained it. We just take the name, put it in upper cases, and then add this close. But this only happens when you want to turn the frame to visible. And if you want to turn it to visible, then you basically have to remove this close because you only want the button's name to be there. And then you can just basically replace the whole text, including this close part, with the button's name. It is that easy. And what this tween service right here does, it basically is just a reversal. Yeah, just the reverse thing for this one. And let me make this a little bit more faster. So this tween right here just puts the stats frame back in. And after... Wait, let me put this in a spawn function. Otherwise, it would just pause the whole script. Yeah, so after this time right here, it just turns the frame to fall. It just turns the visibility of this frame to false. Okay, let's check this out again. There you go. What happens when you click too fast? Yeah, nothing happens. And there we go. So we are now able to make the stats GUI appear and disappear. And now let's move on with this leveling system I was talking about. All right. Okay, I think that it should be quite easy. Let's see. Okay, let me test this out. Let me see if it works, and if it works, then I'm gonna explain it to you, of course, as always. Okay, so as you can see, we have speed, so 9,999 levels, and there's only one EXP left to make our speed level increase. So game players, my name, and stats, speed, EXP, value, and then this whole thing plus 1. Okay, nothing has happened. Is it because is this even server sided? Let's see. Stats, speed, EXP. As you can see, it was not server sided. And we have turned it to 5, and there we go. Our level has changed, our EXP has dropped down to 0, and our max EXP has changed. And now, pay close attention to our defense. So, our defense rate here is currently at level 1, but there is only 1 EXP missing to turn this to level 2. Let's change this as well. So, where is it? Defense EXP. Let's change this to 5, and boom, it turns to 0, and we have achieved level 2. Our max EXP has changed, and our EXP has dropped to 0 as well. Now let's do the same for our will. And let me turn this to 10, which is totally greater than our max EXP. And it will also turn to 0. And yeah, just level up the stat. And that's the way and how you do it. So I have done stat systems in some of my past videos, and they have been a little bit more complicated back then. And this one is a pretty easy solution, thanks to our method right here we have been using. So if you don't know why I have set up this loop, then watch my previous video. And we basically just notice changes, or recognize changes to our EXP, okay? Doesn't matter if it is our strength EXP, defense EXP, speed EXP, or will EXP. So if they change, then we basically just do this check right here. And what this check does is that it basically checks for either the strength EXP, defense EXP, speed EXP, and will EXP. So it checks if those EXPs are greater or equals the max amount of EXP they need in order to level up. And if that's the case, then the EXP is dropping down to 0. The level is increasing. So X is basically our level. So X equals our current level plus 1. And we are even increasing our max EXP. So max EXP dot value equals our current max EXP dot value plus our max EXP multiplied by 2. And it is actually up to you on how you want to design your max EXP. So you can just use another calculation at this point, but I'm going to stick with this one, and that's it. Okay, so that's it with what we wanted to do, or what we wanted to achieve in this video. So our stats do level up now. We have designed this GUI, or we have finished this GUI right here. And yeah, so that's actually it for this video, guys. Alright, so if you have enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, share this video to all of your friends, and take care, see you in the next video, and drop me some suggestions inside of the comment section, guys. I love you guys, see you in the next video, take care.